Hello guys, you alright? Um, just another one today. Obviously this morning I'd seen a couple of things on YouTube, people showing what some lefties were doing after the results the other day. It's quite horrendous how they're losing the plot and just literally, oh, reform this, reform that, and it's just quite pathetic, immature, to say the least. Yes, you don't agree with their policies. Fine. That's okay. It's good to disagree with people. If we all agreed, we'd all be robots. As I said, and I don't want to be a robot, and I know half of ourselves don't want to be robots. You want to be your own free thinking type of person. Now, fine, you might not agree with them, but you might not agree with the Greens, you might not agree with Lib Dems, you might not agree with Labour, you might not agree with Conservatives or Restore. But everybody has someone that they feel are more in tune with their beliefs. Um, and it's scary that some of these um, young lefties that are losing it might over nothing. So having a real drama. It's like, oh no, it's so bad. Oh my life, I can't have this, I can't have that. You can have whatever you want. Just got to apply yourself for it, right? Um, they're not taking away the NHS. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. Things are all misconstrued. People don't investigate properly. They don't look. Um, the NHS now is privatised, whether you want to believe it or not. It actually is. The amount of services that are put up for tender, like where we are, we've got different trusts that are bought out by different people, and then you've got Virgin Medical or whatever. They're trying to buy other places out, and then you've got other people like that are being bought out by others, and it's like it's all private. Like most of it's all private. It's just charged back to the NHS at particular rates, which we still have the NHS free at contact, but we're paying for it in the end, right? Um, Now, I don't necessarily agree with certain things. The NHS it's a blessing, but it's also a curse at the same time because, as you find in life, there's always going to be a manager or a senior person that works in particular roles that abuses their situation, abuses their place. Um, there is managers that will put down that they're working at home when in fact they're picking up the grandkids or they're doing something else or they're picking up their daughters. Yeah, um, that's still theft in my eyes. Um, and some bosses facilitate it and they allow their staff to do it, but generally it's only the staff that they like. And that's the other rule of thumb. Anyone that you like or they like, even lefties and people on the right, people that you like, you tend to give a little bit more lenience. I was a little bit more fairer than that. It was, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, which basically, which in layman's terms, real simple terms, is if you give something, I give back. That's all it is. So without having to have all these rules and things like that, if you literally stayed longer one night and you've done that a few times and you've done extra, but then one day you go, oh, Wayne, I've got no hours left. Um, I need a hospital appointment. So yeah, go on, crack on. What time? It's like, oh well, I need to be there in the morning. Okay, go to your appointment and come in to work after that. All good, happy days. That's called swings and roundabouts or give and take. Yeah, that's how life used to be. But then you have these managers that literally put everything down. Oh no, I can't pay you for that because of this. I can't pay you for that for that. But they forget the amount of hours you actually do put in and the amount of sacrifice you do for them. Those managers are not the managers I want to work for. They're not the managers that I want in my business. I want fair managers. And unfortunately, the NHS doesn't have that. And it's not just the NHS, it's many businesses. The moment people get a bit of power, um, they tend to let it go to the heads a little bit. And it affects others. Now, difference if you're fair, you're honest, and you're straight down the line with people. That's fine. I have many people in the past that were really good. They gave me lots. They looked after me. They come in early. They done this. Didn't ask them for it. They just done it off their own back, right? Because they worked for the greater good of the business of what I was working in. So I also had the flip side of that. I also had them cantankerous old boys or people that thought they were expected to get something. Oh, just because he's done this. Yeah, but he's been here 6 hours longer than you all this week without asking for extra. So if I let him go early because he's got an appointment, that's covered. But you don't give anything. You don't even stay later than your 5 minutes of your break. So you don't get what he gets because you don't give what he gives or she gives. And those people always expect something because they're willing to take the mickey out of you. And that happens quite a lot in life. And it's something that I see with certain types of people. But lefties can do that. But just seeing how these lefties over this local election, they're having the screaming abdabs like a 2-year-old child wanting a sweet and they can't have it. It's incredible. It's quite embarrassing, actually, that these 18, 20-year-olds that are literally having fits of rage over not getting their own way. Well, I'm sorry, sunshine, right? Don't always get your own way in life. Life's a bit tough. Life can be awfully tough. And as I know, and as a lot of my community friends know, it's when you're a stroke survivor, life is tough, but you just have to get on with it. But you little screaming lefty having these abdabs over just someone having a different opinion to you, belt up. Right, I'm old school, right? And when I say I'm old school, right, it's I class myself as analog and digital because that's how I put it in layman terms for some people. I grew up in a time when pen and paper was used, when telephones you had to dial, and I mean really dial, yeah, like ring, 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 yeah. To leave a message wasn't a voice message, right? It wasn't a text message. It was you literally had to call someone's house on a landline, right? That you used to go, oh, is Bert coming out later? What time? Well, I'm out from about 6. I'll be over at the park then. Okay. And if Bert turned up, he got the message. If he didn't get the message, he didn't turn up. You knew. But you wasn't at someone's beck and call all the time. Yeah. Sometimes it would take days before you got a response from someone. Yeah. Because of the old way. But then we were the era that computers came in. I mean, real computers where we had to program computers and program what we wanted to do and to get something. We'd be there for hours just typing in everything that we want, and then hopefully it all loads properly. And then at the last minute, no, sorry. And you start it again. So another lot of hours you have to wait programming it all in again. And hopefully it takes again. Right. Nowadays, your phone that you might be watching this on has more computer power than half of the things that we used to use. Like, well, actually saying that, probably all of them. Your mobile phone that's in your hand was probably got more brain power than the largest computer back in the 70s in, I think it was the BT Tower. I can't remember what it was, but it was something to do with BT, and it was like the smartest and biggest computer, and it took up a whole floor level, this computer. But your mobile phone's got more computing power than that has or had. Yeah. So I've gone through an era where we've gone old school, where we used to be out in the sun all day long. Right? I'd literally leave in the morning, tell my mum I'll be out, I'll be back for tea. Right now, tea for sometimes it's dinner. Right, it depends where you come from. Tea and dinner, right? Roughly the same, right? Roughly the same time. But your mum and dad knew you'd be out from the morning all day, right? And I literally would get into all sorts. We'd be in the hills, we'd be up at the old war bunkers, we'd be here, we'd be going through these tunnels, through that tunnel, we'd be going through the forest, climbing the tree, falling out the trees a few times. I've hit a couple branches on my way down, let me tell you. But it toughened me up. It made me tougher, made me hardier. Yeah, I had an old friend, right? We Dover Castle, people know. Well, Dover Castle, there used to be an old tree that used to overhang the moat, and it used to have a rope swing on it. And I remember years and years ago, right, I was in before the 90s, shall we say? Um, and we was there. We was all mucking around. It was like, oh, let's have a swing, and he swung out, so it was poking out on one side of the moat, and you could swing right out and back. But this one day, the rope didn't look that great. He swung out, and as he got out, it just went pop. The rope had snapped, and we just see him flying towards the other bank. And we're talking, it was a way up, right? He literally landed on the other bank and rolled down the hill. Even the sheep were impressed because the sheep up there, they literally climb up the side of this hill, right? And it is steep. And we were like in shock. And we had to wait because we were all the other side. We couldn't get to him. And he was literally rolling down the hill. And by the time he stopped, we just had to wait. And we're thinking, oh, dear God, please be alive. And this is what kids used to do back then. And we're looking at him going, please, Chris, get up, mate, get up, please get up. Right. And then lo and behold, he rolls over and you just hear this almighty, hey! Right. And that was it. He was up. We was like, oh, thank God for that. We're thinking, I don't want to make it a call. I don't want to go back to his mum and tell his mum and dad, oh, that my mum and dad's going to kill me if he's hurt himself. But we've done things, silly, stupid things like that, jumping off the old concrete bus shelters. Now, we don't have anymore, which is a shame because, to be honest with you, bus shelters, we don't have any anymore, which is disgusting when you need a bit of shelter when the weather is poor. There is no shelter anywhere. And they could easily be put there, but unfortunately, the the age of today of people and the society changes, they have no respect for it. No one respects their community, their town, so they smash it all up. They don't take care of it. We were a bit roguish when we were kids. We were kids being kids, having a laugh and having a joke. We might have broken something, might have done this, but we'd always apologise. We got caught. We'd own up to it. Hands up, Gov, you got us. And it was back in the days when the old Bill used to give you a bit of clip round the ear, and they did give you a clip round the ear, and it was needed. Right? And I'll tell you what, I think a lot of these kids today, these neurotypical and these little toads that are in like prison, whatever, if they'd actually grown up at a time where they got a clip round the ear and they got some straightening out, they might not be little buggers that they are now. All right, and all these screaming ones like going, oh, I'm right, I'm this, I'm that. Oh, these people, oh, my life's so hell. You have no idea how easy your life really is. You catastrophize your own life yourself. You can choose to be better, but these kids were screaming. I watched it on a few people's channels and they were like literally looking at them aghast when you're hearing them screaming and banging their heads, banging the tables, and just crying out, "Oh no, Farage this, oh Farage that!" It's like, I belt up. It's just a different opinion. Let's go back to old school because, to be honest with you, you might actually find that some of these old school ways probably better for you. Like growing your own veg, doing your old things, looking after yourself. Your health will be improved, right? There'll be a lot less mental health issues, right? Because we grew up, we didn't have mental health problems, not until we got older when we didn't realise that we were struggling with ADHD, autism, or whatever. We didn't know that. We didn't know those labels. So we didn't get labelled. We was either just a good lad or a shitbag. Gosh, that was all it was if you was that way, you were a bit of a toad, right? And that was it. But generally speaking, you might have had a reason. But you always knew the good kids and you always knew the kids you stayed away from. But those kids you stayed away from, they were going to be rotten anyway, right? They weren't going to be good. They were just that way, full stop. Yeah. But these ones on these social media platforms, and I don't look at them myself, social media, because I just find it pathetic and boring. And the people on there literally attack you for just the slightest bit of difference. If you decide to have an opinion that's different to theirs, their ideology is so wrapped up in their personality, it hurts them. And you can see it in the way they scream and shout at people and stomp and paddy over nothing. And you just think, come on, let's brighten up the world. Learn to disagree with people. Don't have these screaming abdabs. You might actually find it might be in your benefit for change to happen. Let's get rid of this change, right? We can work hard together, become one, unify. Yeah. And if we join together and we unify, we're a hell of a lot stronger than what people realize. Division is a tool of war. It's designed to separate us. It's designed to put a wedge between us. The moment that wedge happens, you've undermined your own ethos and your own beliefs. But the moment you stand together, guys and girls, you've got more power than they really want you to have, because they know the real power isn't with them. Yeah. Because they don't run the water. They don't run the electric. They think they do. They're the CEOs, they're the powerhouse of it, but do they actually know how to get it running? Do they know how to make it work? No. No, they don't. I know people that have had no qualifications that have done jobs that are more important than any CEO job, right? A CEO doesn't take responsibility if somebody dies that much. Yeah, because he'll find some way of blaming it on someone else. As you look at most politicians, they always blame someone else, don't they? Right? Look at Starmer, got rid of his whole leadership lot to start with. Oh, look, like this one's gone, that one's gone, this one's gone. Oh, we blame them. Oh, the senior person of the foreign office or whatever. Oh, we blame him. Oh, we blame that one. Oh, we blame this one. They never take responsibility themselves, do they? But there's guys out there that are earning next to nothing that actually do take responsibility and do make the world run. Right? We got drivers out there, like transport haulier. They literally run this country, delivering everything that we need. Airplane pilots. We've got all sorts of people. We got high voltage fitters. We got electricians, plumbers. Right? We've got all your builders out there. So many builders that they make this country run, and they're the ones looked down upon by all these upper class and all these lefty snobs. Well, actually, these guys that are working class, they're keeping the country running more than you think. If they didn't turn up for work one day, right, and everything stops, everything, right? So you want to get your little latte and little Costa coffee or Starbucks or whatever brand you want to have, right? If that bus driver hasn't come into work because he's fed up, or that person can't get the bus to get down there to open up that shop for you to have your little coffee, then that's your fault, because you're not taking care of the people that actually do a lot more than what you realize. They're not valued, right? They're undervalued a lot of the time. Most of these people are undervalued. They do really important jobs. It's like, I remember during COVID, because my wife is a nurse and she's frontline, proper frontline. Um, Not one of these that were in an admin. I mean, a real frontline nurse that actually deals with people on a day-to-day basis. All during COVID, everybody was clapping them. Oh yeah, well done them, well done them. Oh, we had some abuse cases like through the town because certain supermarkets allowed them to get served because they were emergency services and things like this, because they were all in their uniform and they had their badges. And then people were insulting them and slagging them off. Seriously, that happened to a few of the staff members my wife works with. Disgusting, right? And then you had these people that were like carers, right? Now, no disrespect to the carers. They're not what I class frontline nursing. They are nursing staff, right? And they are good. They're brilliant at what they do, but they're not frontline nurses. Now, when they're calling for the NHS, most of these carers, they come from private businesses, but they dress like nurses, even though they haven't got the qualifications for nurse. My wife has spent basically over 7 years doing nursing. That's how long it took, basically, with all bits and pieces and other stuff. It's a long time. And then for someone to Google something and think they know what they're suffering with, no, you don't. My wife constantly gets it at work where people go, "Oh, I've got this and you've got to do that. You got to X-ray it." No, she hasn't. If she tells you you don't need an X-ray, she's telling you don't need an X-ray because of the assessment that she's done. You haven't done the training that she's done. You haven't been doing the career that she's been doing for as long as she's been doing it. Yeah. She knows what she knows. And unfortunately, you're always going to get the odd cases, because it's like a car, right? We humans are like cars. Something breaks on the car, you go to a mechanic. Something breaks on us, you go to a nurse or to a doctor. Nowadays, it's generally nurses, because doctors and GPs don't tend to see many people anymore, right? Especially nowadays round here. You try and get a GP appointment, it's like in 8 weeks' time, if they allow you to book one. Yeah, right. You've literally got to be rude and obnoxious down the phone and on the e-consults to try and even see a doctor. And then the doctors have the cheek of when they speak to you to then send them to like MIU units, like away to someone else where that unit can't even refer them to where they need to be going, which is all back to the GP. So my wife is constantly, daily, telling people, no, you need to go to your GP. Well, I've tried. No, I can't refer you. You have to go to your GP. But these receptionists at the GPs go, no, you need to go to this. You need to go to MIU. You need to go to this. You need to go here. They don't want to see these people. And that's half the battle for my wife. And some of these lefties that work in the NHS, they think it's acceptable. And it's like, and the woke ideology that's running through the core of the NHS is sickening. Right? The fact that you can victimize a Christian, but you can't victimize someone else because they've got a chain on, when you can allow someone with a turban for Sikh, right? Which I respect them for it. It's their religious culture. That's fine. But you've got to do that across the board for everyone. So if someone wants to wear burqa and someone wants to wear a cross, it ain't offensive. It's their belief. Yeah.
Eli,
Let's be
here is your
sensible.
reminder from Wayne.
Oh,
Go to bed.
sorry about that. That's like Alexa just giving us a little reminder that it's Eli's bedtime. Right, a bit early. Alexa, stop.
Eli,
Better stop it, otherwise it carries on. All right, sorry about that. All right, but little ramble today more than anything. I sort of had a bit of a long day this morning because we went over to Eli's rugby fun day and award ceremony. Um, which is good, but the weather wasn't quite great, so they didn't quite get the fun day they was after. So it was just a bit of a tag rugby, bit of a play, um, few awards, yeah, which was great. The kids all done well this season. They'd played some really hard matches and they'd done really well. Yeah, unfortunately, Eli didn't get anything this year, um, but the people that got it, they deserved. They were really good this year. There was some good players this year in the under 10s for him. So they've done really well. Yeah. But guys, really, I got to say, stay positive, stay safe. Don't overreact to the little things. Don't catastrophize something like these lefties have been doing over something that they think might happen. Wait and see. Can you change what's just gone on? No. Votes have been done. It is what it is. Let's move forward and let's hope that things improve. They will improve. If you think positive, things will always improve. If you keep being negative, what goes around is basically negative things. So, like they say, a self prof, I can't even say it now. Self prophesizing. Yeah. So if you say something negative, then it occurs. But if you're positive, it'll happen. So you manifest decent energy, it's going to come. But people are so doom and gloom. They go, oh no, the country's going to ruins, wreck and ruins. Oh, the economy's crap. We're talking ourselves. Oh, the economy's going down, 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 down. And then what happens? It goes down because so many people are so negative over it. It goes down. But if you turn around and say, okay, we're in a little bit of a dip at the moment. It is looking quite tough at the moment, but stay positive. We can get it out. We can do this. If we do this, we can get that working. This can work and that can work. And that positivity will feed back into this energy and it will improve people's lives. You just have to stay positive, guys. Little bit of a pep talk today, more by the way I'm rambling, but yeah, I do ramble, do waffle. Did say I can talk the hind legs of donkey. Um, but I'm an opinionated person. Doesn't mean I'm right on everything. It doesn't mean I'm wrong either on some things. There's a mixed balance. It's like you talk to someone else on the left, you talk to someone on the right, you talk to someone on the centre. You can all have different ideas, but if you actually work together and unify, which is what we're trying to do as a country, like Unite the Kingdom is trying to do that. It's trying to unite every single person, culture, belief under one banner, which is ironically called the Union Jack. The Union Jack is a union of people. It's a union of countries. I don't get why a Union Jack is offensive because it is telling you it wants to be a union of more than just one type of people. Yeah, it's a bit ironic, moronic and ironic, because it stands not just for England, Ireland, Wales, Scotland. They all come together under that one flag. Whether they want to believe it or not, you do. And we are all stronger together. When the Scots, the English, the Welsh, the Irish, we all stand together, we are united and we are strong, right? All our brothers in arms from different countries, from these different countries, we are strong as one nation. We always have been. We can be again. Right? Need, we don't need to be divisive. That's what they want us to be. They want us to be divided. But let's unite. Let's unite. Let's follow people that want the best for this country. People who want the best for this country aren't the people that are always saying they want the best. It's people that are doing things to improve it. And if their actions don't align to showing you the positive things, they're not interested in changing it for the positive. They want something else. Yeah. Now we got a young man in Dover for a Reform Party, but he loves Dover Town, right? James is a good lad. He works for Reform down here, and he does more work in this local area than our MP. And I don't like Mike Tapp because he doesn't come from this community. He lives in an area that is expensive. It is completely polar opposites compared to Dover. Right? Dover is like on the low spectrum, right, financially, and he's in the upper echelons, right? Now, that type of person has no connection with the local people. He really doesn't. Yeah. But the people around him might go, oh my God. No. And I'd rather him stay out of the schools as well, because you shouldn't be pushing your and promoting your politics onto school children. That's wrong. And my child told me that you went into his school. And I wasn't happy because you don't need to be here, Mr. Tapp. You do nothing for Dover, right? You don't vote the way we wanted, right? You voted what you wanted because as they changed your job title, as they changed all MP job titles to work for the nation, not for the local area, where it used to be an MP worked for the local area. Well, they changed their job description, I believe, last year or this year, my early on. I'd have to double check that, to be honest with you. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I think they changed their job titles. And if they did, their job responsibilities, and if they did, it's there for you to read. Yeah, they're working for the country, not for the town that they represent. Yeah, and it's people like that I don't like. But James, he's in the town. He works in the town. He employs in the town, and he is doing his best that he can do in the town. And he has made some improvements working for KCC, right? Kent County Council, things that you might not see. The big numbers might not be there, but they're working hard to do this. But anyway, guys, like bit of a long one, but waffled on again. But guys, just don't be unhappy if you don't have the same opinion as someone else. But good luck, my little burgers. Have fun, and I'll speak to you soon. Love you all. Take care. Bye.